Russ, you realize people are gonna think you just shit yourself.
You think they would think it was funny and they would like me?
I don't think so, man. Maybe you should just go home and wash up.
I'm ugly, and I got nits, and I smell like poop. I'm never gonna fall in love. Bye, guys.
We should probably take more of an interest in him.
And that's what pretty much inspired the creation of this video, along with the apparent fandom that's developed around Russ's character specifically. The older brother and Russ are some of the most tragic characters I've seen. Shows like this are great examples of the range of animated shows. Episode Stupid Idiots with the Sardines is too funny. Russ is the funniest on the show. His voice, Rob Rosell, fits his appearance perfectly. Help! Help! I'ma break my head. Does Russ have a girlfriend?
Yo, check it out, son. We're freaking famous.
Russ Brown is a side character on the show Unsupervised and is not known for his academic performance.
They were the worst test results our school has ever received, except for the one student who got a perfect score.
Who was that?
Him. Joseph Barniscus.
After dropping the previous 2 videos on Unsupervised, it's become pretty apparent to me that the show does have a small cult following. If you're a fan of the show, definitely check out those videos later. But right now, I'm here to take you deeper into the fandom by shining a light on the locale legend of the show, Russ.
I burned my asshole. I hope it's not sealed shut.
He's A-plot material that holds down everything but the A-plot. We'll be digging deeper into his character, no doubt, but you gotta understand, watching the whole show, his total screen time is like no higher than any other of the main cast. With that being said, you can find him in an abandoned building or somewhere in the trenches, definitely on the wrong side of the train tracks, lacking very much needed medical attention. He's a man of many interests.
No, man, I was rolling around at the dump.
Why?
It feels good on my skin.
His words are powerful incantations.
I pretend my pillow's a birthday cake, and it can be any flavor in the world. I had a chicken cake last year.
He's got an eye patch, man. Nobody has an eye patch in modern times. What do you think's under there?
I heard it looks like bloody mashed potatoes.
He might be a little funny looking, but I will say the mullet does complement the glasses, and he's just an overall friendly guy.
Yo, Joseph, it's Russ, man. Yo, that dog poop outside your door. Hey, what's up, pussies? Hey, what's up, dog dicks? I got freaking rope burn on my privates. I don't know. I'm trying to be good.
However, I regret to inform you that those are all just the silver linings. In reality, Russ's life isn't all just chicken cake and bloody mashed potatoes.
I got secrets nobody can know.
Secrets that I'll be unpacking / dissecting / before we get into that, thank you for supporting the last video, because shows like Unsupervised deserve more attention even if they're canceled prematurely, and I love being the only content creator to cover the show and bring the fandom out. I know liking the video is of little to no consequence to your day, but it does help other like-minded individuals see it, and it makes a huge difference to the channel.
Look at all those chickens.
Back to the topic.
Get yourself together, Russ.
He's got mind problems.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't want to do bad smells no more.
Okay, calm down. Christ, we're going to get you some help. Oh, get in here.
In our formative years, many of us encounter that one person or one kid that tries to graft their way into the friend group, but ultimately finding themselves on the periphery. Or alternatively, you might have found yourself being the one singled out. In any case, social pariahs are not born. They're definitely created, and in the case of Unsupervised, Russ is definitely that kid. And we'll analyze what that means for his character and how that plays out in the show with as much of a sympathetic lens as possible. Let's go.
Made it too easy to trust. Made it too easy for us. Fishbowl all in the summer. We was just teasing the ops.
Again, as one of the more prominent side characters, Russ is definitely a B-plot, really C-plot king. A lot of his backstory is left intentionally obscure.
I got secrets nobody can know. They're bone chilling.
With this limited screen time, the question becomes, what can we ascertain about the rest of his life based on the small fragments that we do get? We know for sure that Russ has suffered abuse at the hands of his older brother, but not the extent.
Russ, why would you do that? I want to be in the paper so I'm famous and my brother won't torture me anymore. He kicks me in the ears and he puts his rabbits in my bed.
I think in terms of causality, Russ's abusive brother seems to be at the root of all his rebellious digressions. But make no mistake, Russ's absent parents are the absolute deepest void in this kid's life. That's because being unsupervised as a kid means that nobody cares, or at least that's how it feels. And the show illustrates this disparity in a deceptively lighthearted character.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my head. I'm gonna go
Okay, settle down, Russ.
Get on to the house, let's...
Ugh, I can't believe people live in there. This home is literally broken.
Typically, in neglectful households, the eldest child is forced into a parental role. But based on Russ's descriptions, his brother doesn't really come across as the paternal type.
We gotta stand in line for school?
To pass through a metal detector, no less. I mean, is that what it's come to?
I'm telling you, Mr. Bridges, to my cast. I put coins in there. I use it as a bank so my brother don't steal from me.
All right, that's enough. Move along, get out of here.
Schools with metal detectors are already a toxic environment, but even with that aside, we can still understand why Russ feels cornered and forced to adapt. It's never made clear how Russ was injured in the first place, but it's arguable that his brother was responsible for his broken wrist, warranting the cast, which now doubles as a piggy bank.
I can't get my cast where it'll disintegrate.
Are you smelling it? Ugh, it's gross.
Turns out you can only extort a stone-cold, heartless killer but so many times.
Yo, can you call me that?
Stone Cold? Why would we call you Stone Cold?
Because I'm a heartless killer.
Whatever, man.
Deep in the recesses of Russ's mind, beyond the childish temperament,
In the Mr. Hot Dog Man, running around with his hot dogs.
beyond the haunting memories,
My first kiss was with a gorilla at a petting zoo.
there lies a festering thought of revenge.
I'm gonna win $200 and I'm gonna buy a BB gun and shoot my brother in the face.
You see this right here? This is why you need parents to guide you in shit.
If we were to somehow quantify the degree to which they were unsupervised, Russ would easily rank as the most neglected kid on the show.
We don't freaking like you no more! Get out of here!
Friggin' bullets!
Gary's dad split when he was a baby, and his now stepmom would be a fool to pass up on him welfare checks.
Oh, there's some lean meals in the freezer if you're hungry. Frozen gourmet meals? No way! It's gonna be like a friggin' resort vacation.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Nah, come on, Gary. Don't call me Mom. I friggin' hate that shit.
Joel's got his 40-year-old gangbanging, meth-smoking brother who's definitely not gay, right?
Brian, I know you're a homosexual man. What? I ain't freaking gay. Come on.
Yeah, you are. We saw you getting humped by a dude behind a dumpster.
And also his two old-ass parents that we never actually see.
I'm not from a broken home.
Your folks are my grandparents' age.
Huh. Well, this has been a real eye-opener.
Let's stick a pin in Brian's character because he's a great barometer to basically see what Russ's older brother might have been like. For now, just know he rides on 30-inch rims with hydraulics. Russ, on the other hand, has an evil older brother that we never see, and a flock of younger siblings that face almost certain death under Russ's care. And as a social pariah, Russ's character arc spans from spending most of his time in the town dump to unironically being treated like trash everywhere else.
Hey, you guys want some medical waste to throw at him?
What? No, we don't want any medical waste, Russ. Honestly, you should stay away from that stuff.
Why? It's freaking badass. It's got skulls all over it.
You never eat lunch with us, Russ. What brings you to our table today?
It's my birthday. I like to sit with people and pretend they remember it.
Ooh.
Yeah, see, now that makes me sad.
Without being properly socialized at home, Russ struggles to garner the attention he so desperately desires from his peers. And left with no one to confide in, Russ finally reveals his bone-chilling secret during his presumed final moments.
I have a confession to make that I'm dyslexic.
I confess that my brother molested me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Jesus Christ, Russ. We'll deal with that later.
5 minutes later.
Yo, what was that stuff you were yelling about getting molested, Russ?
One time my brother told me to close my eyes because the pretty girl was gonna give me a kiss, and then he put jumper cables on my scrotum.
Oh, Russ, man, you didn't get molested. You got tricked.
Yeah, that's just you being dumb.
Phew, that was a close one. I thought Gary was actually gonna believe the victim for a minute there.
It's not a freaking trick, it's a molesting.
Megan, can you believe this?
So Russ's account wasn't exactly rigged, but it does show how his brother would basically piss on him and tell him that it's raining. Neglected by his parents and rejected/abused by Brian, Russ would go on to embody what we kind of expected Gary and Joel to be.
Excuse me?
That's what we call you, skunk.
Punk?
Skunk, you stupid bitch.
Rose!
Holy shit, Russ.
But just like Gary and Joel, he's not always at fault and often falls victim to circumstance. His interest in how Russ is granted health care only to the extent that he's prescribed psychotropics and got a hand cast, but is not covered when it comes to getting the cast properly removed without severing an artery or getting long-term psychiatric care. Those luxuries are certainly not in the cards for Glizzy Boy over here.
I don't want to go back to the rubber room. The doctor gave me mind pills so my brain works better.
Indeed it will, my boy. Indeed it will.
I'm ugly, and I got nits, and I smell like poop. I'm never gonna fall in love. Bye, guys.
We should probably take more of an interest in him.
Yeah. And upon closer inspection, it becomes clear Russ lives like he has nothing to lose because he doesn't.
I'm gonna eat a jar of peanut butter and see what happens.
Can you, like, die and shit?
If I don't win, I'm gonna get stabbed by my brother. Either way, I'm dead.
You ain't got two pickles to rub together. How can you not respect a man who pulls up to the science fair ready to die? Let me put it this way. There's donating your body to science, and then there's embodying science.
They bury me in the junkyard next to where the frogs live.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Russ, you ate all that?
Yup, I'm sick as hell. Did I win?
No. Bell Peace Prize. No Bell Peace Prize is what you deserve, Russ. That's right. You did a good job.
Yeah, look at me. I'm a lesbian. Yeah.
Okay, well, not sure if that's what that makes you, but you know what? You're right. You got it. Anything to soften the blow of the fact that you have no friends.
Who wants to see my vagina? Ah! There's peppers in my face.
This school does not tolerate discrimination.
Except there was this one kid named Joe, aka Slow Joe, who was the size of several dozen Danny DeVitos. He came up in the last video where I explained his backplot in further detail.
I ate wires last night and pretended it was Paschetti. It did not make me a robot. No matter how many wires you eat, a child will not become a robot. All right, that's the end of my friggin' report.
A+. Good job, Russ.
There's no better place to form trauma bonds than in an oxygen-deprived shipping container. Imagine going to school where your classroom is always one single fart away from becoming a Dutch oven. That's way too much pressure for me. Moreover, I'd imagine that everything that happens in the shipping container stays in the shipping container.
You can't be mean no more.
Yeah, Joe! You're my best friend in the world.
Code 50. The sardines are out of the can. Repeat, the sardines are out of the can.
Whoa there, ex-military. If the sardines are out of the can weren't the code words for this scenario, I don't know what I would do in my life.
What are you guys doing here? No one ever comes to visit us. Slow Joe's my friends Gary and Joe.
I'll explain why they will never be friends in a moment, but Russ's one true friend, Joe, actually gets transferred to another school since it turns out his IQ was equivalent to the likes of several dozen Danny DeVitos.
You be as smart as you ever can be, Joe. I'm proud of you. You're my best friend.
Joe miss Russ too.
This explains why Russ ends up becoming even more clingy to Gary and Joel, even after apparently rejecting his friendship, ignoring him, and only finding use for him when in need of cannon fodder.
Why the hell did we let Russ do this anyway?
He's expendable. You're supposed to put the grunts in the front lines.
What is he doing with those hot dogs?
Maybe you can even adopt me.
Oh, well.
I'll be a good son. I'll do all my homework and I'll clean all my cuts. I won't put my bare butt on anything.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to have kids right now at this point in my life.
I just want to be tenderly hugged.
And that's super sad. I feel like a lot of the time he's being treated the exact opposite way, and everybody's, wanting to get rid of him. But they can't. I call him a low cow earlier because that's kind of just what he is. I mean, he takes shit from other people. He's always the butt of the joke, and that's just his natural state of being. For example, a couple guys string him up under the bleachers, and he sees it as a sign of affection.
What the hell are you doing, Russ?
Jojo and Donnie tied me upside down. It's freaking hilarious. Those guys are crazy.
These are the same kids he attempts to impress by acting out.
Yo, let's throw rocks at the other team's bus. Jojo, check it out.
But most of Russ's more devious enterprises are met with the same cold yet hilarious karma. It is inherently sad, but it's actually still funny. All too often, people mistake his idiocy for bad intent, which makes him more relatable in my eyes. We know what it feels like to be misunderstood, and despite being a basic human need, genuine social connection can be extremely elusive.
Hey man, I'll smoke with you guys. I'll smoke 1,000,000 cigarettes. I don't even care.
We can't hang out with you no more, Russ.
Gary and Joel have forged a brotherhood out of good vibes and the muck at the bottom of their local drainage ditch. A brotherhood defined by their mutual obsession over being a positive force within a sea of negativity.
We gotta set a good example.
The reason that they leave Russ out of that dynamic is, unfortunately, he is actually a part of that sea of negativity.
It's just when people don't don't love sunshine, I get freaked out, man. It gives life to everything, you know? I get so mad sometimes I can murder the whole world.
Look at me. You don't think I know that? I want to kick her head in, but we just gotta teach her through natural actions.
I can hear you guys talking.
This definitely comes off like the boys are in their own world of sorts, but instead of them being weighed down by their proverbial plot armor, each episode reads as if their bubble of overwhelming positivity, despite numerous setbacks, is still an ever-expanding force. All set somewhere in rural Pennsylvania, the perfect drab backdrop against which Gary and Joel make us laugh, while highlighting heavily class-based struggles that underprivileged Americans take as just a part of life.
Oh, watch the road.
Man, they are super.
Now, I'm not surprised considering Unsupervised came from the creators of Always Sunny. They definitely nailed the East Coast accents and the overall white trash aesthetic.
You saw that? Frick! Frick! You don't want anyone to see that, Brian. I'll freaking kick for you.
Yo, he's about to fight himself.
But don't call me brother no more. I keep my sentences short.
What's going on, dude?
My freaking brother's back. I'm going to get smokes. You two can be alone and rub your dicks together.
I'd wager that whatever abuse Joel has received from Brian, Russ must have gotten at least equal, if not worse treatment at the hands of his older brother. Granted, we did see Joel see Brian
I lost my phone and consequently all the feelings I call for my GM.
getting done. I'm not sure what Russ's brother would have to do to outdo that, but I'm sure he's got something.
Bone chillin'.
I mentioned earlier that if we were to somehow quantify the degree to which they were unsupervised, Russ would easily rank as the most neglected kid on the show. And while he does embody the premise of the show more accurately, Russ can't be the main character because he's too volatile and struggles to express himself.
And my brother's in Iraq. He's in the freaking army.
Although his motives are understandable 9 times out of 10, his actions are quite erratic. Russ's character incorporates more of the toxic aspects of both Gary and Joel's respective ethos. Sometimes he's surprisingly gullible, and other times he's way too aggressive.
I'm trying to have an emotional conversation with you.
I'm gonna shove your smokes up your ass.
Unsupervised illustrates a realistic take on poverty from a white American perspective. And Russ is both economically and socially the lowest on the totem pole, obviously due to factors outside of the child's control. With that being said, he is the heart of the show, and I can't emphasize enough how generous he is. He actually offers to host a funeral during his own birthday party.
You wanna bury a man in my yard?
With your permission, of course.
Man, that's cool. Your friend bury him. I don't give a crap.
And if he messes up, which he does a lot, he desperately scrambles to make up for it. Like when he gives Joel lice by accident from his brother's army helmet. This causes him to lose his prom date, so what does Russ do? He goes to prom with Joel. There's a lot of ride or die activity when it comes to Russ. He offers to pull a prank against the entire prom as a rebellion, and this is an activity that he can bond with Joel over, hopefully, right? But again, he's usually just taken for granted.
You guys wanna hear one?
Absolutely not. Russ, just keep it to yourself.
And I find his depiction to be quite realistic. He's a hell of a guy, and Unsupervised is a hell of a show. I really wish this show could be rebooted. I would watch it, I would play it in the background when I'm making videos. That's how much I love the show. Unfortunately, people don't know how to market shows like this nowadays, I guess. Adult animation is on the decline in a way, except for anime. But this is my own way of highlighting something that really should be brought back. I love the show.
Oh, you rocking that Diddy piece. Where you get that jacket from, Russ?
Is that Sean John?
Anyway, I'm getting too far off the beaten path. If you're still here, if you made it this far, you might as well go harder. Wait, we're on our way to 1,000, and if you're already subscribed, thank you for sticking around. You are the most important part of this channel, and that's why I have a lot more videos coming out along the same lines as this one. Please also leave a comment down below if you think I should look into a specific show, or if I missed anything, mention your favorite parts of Unsupervised if the show means something to you. For now, it's been fun. Until next time, peace.